I'm my beloved and he is mine. His banner over me is love. I'm my beloved and he is mine. His banner over me is love. His banner over me is love. He leads me to his banqueting table. His banner over me is love. He walks me to his banqueting table. His banner over me is love. He leads me to his banqueting table. His banner over me is love. His banner over me is love. Yeshua is the rock of my salvation. His banner over me is love. Yeshua is the rock of my salvation. His banner over me is love. Yeshua is the rock of my salvation. His banner over me is love. His banner over me is love.
Praise the higher. Children of Israel are here. Mount Hor. We're going inside the tomb to pray for our brother Aaron. Holy Land, Kadesh. We are in Kadesh. And as you know, Mount Hor is at the border of the children of Israel heritage. So we're still within the borders, but this is one of the borders.
Shabbat Shamayim, Kwadash Haya, Shamka Mahaya, Malak Wavka, Thaba Vatazawanka, Haya Aisha, Baharataza. Kawahaya, Bashmaya, Nathan Lanawa, Lakan Kalyawam, Wasalat Nawa, Khawaf Nawa, Kasalat Nawa, Kawaf Nawa. Thabayanawa Minasaya Wapamba Hawashinawa Mayarai Kayalaka Hamlakwa Wahala Wahasaparas wa awalam
Our Father which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread. Forgive us our debts, as we forgive our debtors. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever. Amen. Praise the Most High.
All glory and praise to Ahaya Shohaya, Bahashimishaya, Wakodashawak. my knees and me gun down pray. To me Abba, to me Abba. Dum da di 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 dum dum day. Me read me Bible almost every day. Get on my knees and me gun down pray. To me Abba, to me Abba. This generation shall rule the nations. We are higher. The Lord our God is one. The Lord our God is one. The Lord our God is one. His name is higher. Yes, a higher. The Lord our God is one. The Lord our God is one. The Lord our God is one. His name is higher. Yes, a higher. The Lord our God is one. The Lord our God is one. The Lord our God is one. His name is higher. Yes, a higher. The Lord our God is one. The Lord our God is one. How you bring the fire? Hear me now. Let's go, Yasharala.
Let the Holy Spirit lead.
That's right. Kwadash Warak
Come
now.
out of Babylon.
How you bring the fire? You will drop the beat.
Holy Kodash Warak. How you want you holy?
Kwadash Warak. Kwadash. Kodesh. Kodash. Kodesh. It's a holy place. That's Kodash. Kodesh. Kodash.
Just like in the word it says, we are the holy ones. Don't cry, pick up your head. He sent his holy son, giant by his emperor. He crushed all of the tests, told you cannot be cancelled. This way you're holy and blessed.
Yeah, that's right. See now.
How you want you holy. Shawam, Saka, Hashabath, Lakadash, Kabad, Abakawa, Amaka, Shalabatazak, Lana, Gana, Shai, Ainishwa, Sharamak, Shavalava, Aika.
I feel I got it bad. Sometimes I feel like holding back. Sometimes I feel like I can't wait to be alone. And then I think about His grace, His love be flowing from the throne. Can't get enough, and when I'm hurting, I'm bleeding. My spirit calling is pleading. For you, I need you to lead. For you, I get on my knees. This sin is like a disease. When I was way down, you picked me right up. The devil came round. He know it's time up. 24 elders bow down with their crown at your feet. Said you are worthy of all praise, and now this battle you defeat. Father, you're worthy of your name. Most High, the Most High, Most High, Most High, Most High, the Most High. Father, you're worthy of your name. Sometimes I feel I got it bad. Sometimes I feel like holding back. Sometimes I feel like I can't wait to be alone. And then I think about His grace, His love be flowing from the throne. Can't get enough, and when I'm hurting, I'm bleeding. My spirit calling is pleading. For you, I need you to lead. For you, I get on my knees. This sin is like a disease. When I was way down, you picked me right up. The devil came round. He know it's time up. 24 elders bow down with their crown at your feet. Said you are worthy of all praise, and now this battle you defeat. Father, you're worthy of your name. Most High, the Most High, Most High, Most High, Most High, the Most High. Father, you're worthy of your name.
That's where it all started, yeah. First commandment, love a higher with all your heart. Second commandment, love your brother, love your sister. First commandment, love a higher with all your heart. Second commandment, love your brother, love your sister. Love each other. Love each other.
Praise Ahaya, Bahashim Yeshaya, Shalom, Israel. This is Sister Kana, and welcome to the Nappy Hair Chronicles. First and foremost, I have to give all glory and praise to Ahaya, Ashur Ahaya, Bahashim Yeshaya, Wakwadash, Wak, Shalom, y'all. Oh, gosh. I'm a little, high off life because I came from the gym. And it was so amazing. They had closed the sauna and the jacuzzi, the steam room and the jacuzzi for it's been 2 weeks. So I hadn't been able to go. So praise Ahaya, I was able to, go. So I'm a little late because I try to come a little early, because I know they closed, but I'm sorry. Because also I got some great news, praise Ahaya. Here. I had to go and pick up my book, and I want y'all to see this. Praise Ahaya. It says, it's on the side, Yada, Ahaya, Bahashim, Yeshaya, Wakwadash, not Wakwadash, Zakwan, Ibaya, Kwadash, Zapah, the ancient Hebrew holy book. And I was able to get on hardcover this book done in the ancient Phoenician Hebrew. It's the Bible in the ancient Phoenician Hebrew. So I'm so excited about this, guys. So I got it's up until Malachi from Genesis, from Genesis to Malachi. So, guys, hold on 1 second. I'm getting an important call from America, so I got to take it. So give me 1 second. Hold on.
I told you travel. We're in the last days, coming to the final phase. Ahaya's gonna show his face to his people. It's time to go. You feel it in your soul. The Holy Spirit tells you so. Get ready. Go east. Ahaya, prepare to play. I told you travel. Go east to plead with you face to face. I told you travel. Go east. There is a safe place. I told you travel. Go east. For those who have an ear, let them hear. Go east. I told you travel. Visit us at AtoldYouTravel.com. We're in the last days, coming to the final phase. Ahaya's gonna show his face to his people. It's time to go. You feel it in your soul. The Holy Spirit tells you so. Get ready. Go east. Ahaya, prepare to play. I told you travel. Go east to plead with you face to face. I told you travel. Go east. There is a safe place. I told you travel. Go east. For those who have an ear, let them hear. Go east. I told you travel. Visit us at AtoldYouTravel.com.
The horse and its rider was thrown into the Red Sea. Ahaya is my strength, Ahaya is my song. He is my salvation, my power, I built his habitation.
I'm sorry, I was muted. Oh my gosh, didn't start well. But anyway, so I got it hardcover, and it's the ancient Hebrew Bible in the ancient Phoenician script. The whole the whole Old Testament, because that's the only part that's in Hebrew. And I'm so excited. So I just like, oh my gosh. So let me show you again with my voice on. Okay, so you can see it. It's all in ancient Phoenician script. So guys, I'm so excited. I finally got it because it took me a while, to like have to get it done. And I'm gonna show you again when I get it finished. But for now, I just got it. Now, why I'm so excited about this? Because you guys, you know that I teach the ancient Phoenician Hebrew. I teach that from KG, from kindergarten all the way up to 12th grade. So this is the process of me going to the higher grades. I got the I Am Hebrew 1 2 3, y'all know, and I have a book series, going all the way up to each grade. So now, I'm going to the upper grade. So it's time that you start learning the symbols for the ancient Hebrew, how to read the script for the ancient Hebrew. So that's why I'm so excited about it, because I finally, got to this part. It's a lot of work, guys. I mean, but I praise the Most High. He's blessed me in how to, put this all together. For one, being a teacher for many years and teaching small grades, and, I've taught different level and different age groups. So the Most High gave me the curriculum of how to put it together and how to teach and write the books for our language. So now I'm going into the higher grades. And so it's important to know the script, the ancient Phoenician script. And so I'm so excited that I finally got this done. So let me let you see it again. So this is Joshua chapter 9, right? You see that? And I just want to put it as close as possible so you can see. Okay. Woo-hoo! I'm so excited, guys. So it's going to be a lot of work, really trying to put this together and, write it in the book form so that people can learn Hebrew. And I know this is a blessing from the Most High that I'm even able to do this. It's all him. And he, just to even put me in this, particular predicament where I'm even teaching, I was a musician for the majority. And then I happened to get into teaching by mistake. Actually, I started working at an after school center. This is like 10, 20, 15, almost 20 years ago, probably. I started as an after school teacher teaching dance and this and that. This is how I ended up becoming a teacher, but it was the Most High's plan because he knew that he was going to bring me out of Babylon and that I would end up teaching, English. And I had taken some courses, but I never thought that this is what I would end up doing, teaching English. So through teaching English and teaching people who don't know, people who don't know English, it made it kind of easy to transition to teaching a new language. And and I know it's the Most High, praise the High Yahweh, and it was part of my journey, and it was part of me, learning like this is what he wanted me to do. So, now I can see it clearly, but in the beginning, of course, I didn't know it. And even still, it's a process. I mean, writing these books, creating these books, and starting from scratch, a language that I didn't even know, and putting it into a curriculum so that we can be able to teach our children, teach the young people this language. It's amazing. And I know it's the Most High. And I don't really talk about this, aspect of it. I put it out there about teaching, the teaching the ancient Phoenician, but how the Most High has got me to do it, and also be able to teach young children all the way up to the grade 12. It's just amazing. This has been such an amazing journey, brothers and sisters. I can't even tell you. There's so much things that I don't even talk about, but just because I had to go pick up this book, and I'm so thankful. Praise the Highest. This is the Bible in the ancient Phoenician script. So it forces you. Now I have the Tanakh, from English, from Hebrew to English, that one. And I think I showed it in another video. And it's helpful because that's going to help me, be able to be a middle to gauge certain words and things within the Bible. But it's not our language. It's in the modern Hebrew, and that's not our language. It's not of the Most High. And that's the synagogue of Satan, and that's their language. So it's important that we learn our language and our script, how to read, which was the Canaanite language, but is our language. It's the Paleo Phoenician Hebrew, and that is the ancient, which is the language of Canaan. And there's a scripture in the Bible that talks about that we would learn the language. And then there's also in the Pseudepigrapha talks about how that the ancient Canaanite language is, our language. Praise the High Yahweh. So I am so excited about this. So that's why I'm like, So I'm sorry I'm late, and I don't have a lot of time, and I'm back at it again with this, not having enough time, but this is like the last day or two. This is maybe like the last day of Ramadan, so I won't have to go through this anymore. So praise the Highest. So I'll have to say Shalom, Akwaf Michelle White. She says Shalom, Hebrew brothers and sisters, love Israel. Praise the Highest. Hold on, let me show you your comments. Good to see you, sis. Glad that you're here. Praise the Higher. Okay, so I wanted to go into part 4 of Babylon the Great is Fallen, is Fallen. Guys, I got so much videos, so much information, but I run out of time. And so we'll probably just have to keep extending this since all this drama is going on in Babylon anyway. And the Most High is showing that Babylon the Great is fallen, This is why we are in, what's going on with the dollar is falling. I got a lot of videos, and I wanted to go into some scriptures. If I don't get to the scriptures again today, and maybe I'll just go into a little of it today. Hold on, give me a second. Because I really want to go into, after going to Revelation 18, like I did 2 videos ago, I really wanted to go into Jeremiah 50 and 51 and showing how, the scriptures tell us that exactly all this stuff was going to happen. So, it's not that we who are of this awakening, the 144,000, the children of the promise who know and who are paying attention, because we should not be asleep, like in 2 Thessalonians tell us we are not in the sleep and we're not in darkness. We see the signs and we know this thing is happening full time. It's like the movie, hold on a second. And so so this is like just playing out. The Bible was just playing out. Everything we thought we knew was going to happen is happening, right? So let me see. I was going to go into Jeremiah 50 and 51, and just let me just read a little bit of it because I haven't been able to get to it, and then I'll just do the videos back to back that I want to show of what's going on in the news. There's a lot going on, especially when it comes to Bible prophecy. We are in the times of Bible prophecy. This is the times that our forefathers long to be a part of. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen. Give me a second, and let's just read some scripture because I didn't get a chance last week to do it. Praise the higher. Okay, so we're going to go to Jeremiah. Hold on, let me move this out the way. I hope I'm sharing my screen with you. It says it is anyway, so hold on. Let's go to Jeremiah. And I'll just read some of it. And just because I didn't get a chance to read last week, and, I wanted to really go into it. Now, this script is funny. Let me change this. Hold on, guys. It's just a little. It says the judgment of Babylon. So it says, let me start at 1 and just see where it takes us. Okay, Jeremiah 50 and 1. The word that Ahiah spoke against Babylon and against the land of the Chaldeans by Jeremiah the prophet. Declare ye among the nations and publish. So we're supposed to be speaking about this. And set up a standard, publish and conceal not. Say, Babylon is taken, Bel is confounded, Merodach is broken in pieces. Her idols are confounded. Her images are broken in pieces. For out of the north there cometh up a nation against her, which shall make her land desolate. None shall dwell therein. They shall remove. They shall depart, both man and beast. Okay. Praise the high Bashem Shia. So they shall remove out. So that's our people also being told to move. For out the north there cometh up a nation against her, which shall make her land desolate. None shall dwell therein. They shall remove. I read this. They shall depart, both man and beast. In those days and in that time, saith Ahiah, the children of Israel shall come, they and the children of Judah together, going and weeping, they shall go and seek Ahiah, their power. Now, look, in those days, so we know we in that time now where the children of Israel are starting to slowly but surely come out of Babylon. But he said, in those days, in that time, saith Ahiah, that the children of Israel shall come, they and the children of Judah together, going and weeping. Why are they weeping? Okay. It seems like the children of Israel is really having a hard time coming out of that wicked cesspool of a place. It's like the children of Israel don't really want to leave. They're being rebellious in coming out. So they're going and weeping. They're weeping because it's Jacob's trouble and they're being forced. Our brothers and sisters have no choice but to come out of America. They see it's falling and they're scared and they don't know what to do. But nonetheless, they will be coming out because the scriptures say they will. Praise the Hayah Bahashim Yeshaya, y'all. Okay, so I just wanted to add that because why going and weeping? I mean, we should be running out there rejoicing and glad, but the scripture said that they're going and they're weeping. Okay, 50 and 5, it says, they shall ask the way to Zion with their faces thitherward, saying, come and let us join ourselves to Ahiah in a perpetual covenant that shall not be forgotten. Listen, they shall be asked their way to Zion. Why would they have to ask their way to Zion? Is it possible that they may be traveling in a way that they're not used to traveling? Maybe some by foot, some on land, going through these different countries, because we clearly see at this time, in this part of the prophecy, the children of Israel are not moving in the fashion that they should be. You know what I'm saying? They see Babylon is falling, but they still sitting in America like, is it time yet? Is it time yet? Or when you think it's time for us to go? Like, you don't see the signs and you don't know that it's time to leave. You know, like, I spoke to that person on the phone, and I was asking, so you don't feel like you're in danger? You don't feel like it's time for you to be making a move? You still feel like you're in a good case? This is what this is what I see. This is what I'm seeing on the children of Israel as well. Like, people are just sitting around waiting and twiddling their thumbs to the last minute. Really, they will wait until the last minute, brothers and sisters, before they decide to make a move, instead of getting up and getting out of harm's way, because you know the Bible prophecy and you know that you need to be leaving. Praise God. Let me check this out. He said the only reason I'd want to be a part of these end times is to see our Messiah return. Wait, hold on. Let me add that comment. Sister Shalom, Sister Shemayapa. She says the only reason I'd want to be a part of these end times is to see our Messiah return, or else in these times is straight satanic. True. But our forefathers, they longed for this time because they knew that the kingdom is at hand. They knew that they would, they still had to sleep. They still had to die and still had to wait. It's like agony waiting for our kingdom, in a sense, because we know that, we pray that we make it, to the kingdom, but we know that it's coming. But if it's not in your time, then you still gotta die and, go through some stuff. So that's why. Yeah, but I understand what you're saying, There's nothing, and he said not to even yearn for the coming of Messiah, because it's going to be such a hard time, and we don't even know if we're going to make it through. And that's a kicker in itself. It's uncertain. But let me finish. 15:6 said, my people have been lost sheep. Their shepherds have caused them to go astray. And brothers and sisters, we have been deceived and infiltrated the whole time. And this is what the scriptures are saying. My people have been lost sheep. Their shepherds have caused them to go astray. They have turned them away on the mountains. They have gone from mountain to hill. They have forgotten their resting place, because we don't know who we are, what we doing, where we going, and how to get there. That's why we're going to be asking the way to Zion. And the majority of our brothers and sisters, because they're not even waking up right now. Like, it's a process. We're watching the awakening. Like, for those of you who are awake, do you watch some of the people who aren't awake? I'm watching YouTube videos and content, and you can see the struggle. They're struggling because they're trying to awake, but they just ain't got it. It's not grasping. It's not, piercing through their spirit, because a lot of our people are the walking dead. They're spiritually dead. And they can't. The Most High has poured out his spirit upon the earth, and it's not passing through to the majority of our people. Some of them won't even awake, but some of them are awakening. Some of them are struggling, like they know something and they can't really grasp it. That's what I see. But they may not awaken until the very last minute, and then they'll be trying to get to Zion by foot or whatever way is necessary. Can you imagine? Jeremiah 50:7, all that found them have devoured them, and their adversaries say, we offend not, because they have sinned against Ahiah, the habitations of justice, even Ahiah, the hope of their father. So a lot of these people, these Gentiles who know we are the children of Israel and have watched the struggle, they feel like, oh, well, they got this. They had to go through this because they sinned against their God. They know that we sinned and we are under a curse. They watch us and they know who we are. And they refuse to tell us or tell the truth. Everybody was able to keep that secret. They all kept the secret. Nobody told the children of Israel. I remember years ago, I don't even know how old I was. Somebody said to me that we were under a curse. Somebody did say that to me, and I was like, I was like, no, we're not, like that. But I don't remember who it was. I don't even know when it was. But I just remember it happened. Somebody did try to tell me. I don't even know if it was like a Gentile or maybe it was a Hebrew Israelite who kind of knew more. But they didn't elaborate. They just said, y'all are under a curse. And they left it like that. I mean, I wish they would have told me more, but that was all. And it just flew past me, and I was like, no, we're not. And, and I was like arguing, like, no, we're not, like kind of thing. Jeremiah 15:8, remove out of the midst of Babylon. Hello, remove, flee, run. The scriptures, all throughout the scriptures, is telling us to get up out of Babylon. So 50:8 says, remove out of the midst of Babylon, go forth out of the land of the Chaldeans, because this is just ancient Babylon, where these people, sorcery, all kind of sorcery and witchcraft and all kind of stuff, the Chaldeans, and be as the goats before the flock. So this is the scripture here telling you, you need to get up out of Babylon. Remove out of the midst of Babylon. Okay? 50:9, for lo, I will raise and cause to come up against Babylon, assembly of great nations from the north. So we know the prophecy is Iran, the Medes are going to come and nuke Babylon, basically. And that's what all the commotion is with Iran, and all this stuff. It's clear. The Most High is telling us to come up out of there. He was going to raise up other nations, great nations. He said, assembly of great nations from the north country, and they shall set themselves in array against her. From thence she will be taken. Their arrows shall be as of mighty expert men. None shall return in vain. Hello, Israel. Now, when you read scriptures like this and you see that Babylon the Great is fallen, I mean, we are in this time. What would make you feel like to still be asking, is it time yet? When do you think it's time? It's not time yet. Like, you really have to be under a strong delusion to not understand. And spiritually, your spirit should be shaking that it's time to go. Every time there's an event that is, the Bible speaks of it, just like as they're getting closer to this mark of the beast. I mean, after that, the pandy, there should be nothing that could have kept you in Babylon after that. But no, they calmed it down a little bit because they testing to see how much our people are willing to stand through this stuff. And everybody knows it's not like, I talk to some people that I know who not awakened to the truth, but they know something is up, and they know about the mark of the beast. They know, and they still sitting in Babylon. 50:10, and the Chaldea shall be a spoil. All that spoil her shall be satisfied, saith Ahijah. Because ye were glad, because ye rejoiced, O ye destroyers of mine heritage, because ye are grown fat as the heifer at grass and bellow as bulls. Talking about the other nations, how they gain rich and how they're in their salvation because we fell. And they, they just waddle in happiness. Someone just told me, it reminds me of scripture. Two women were talking, two Jordanian women, and they was like, they were talking about Ramadan, and they were saying, the king went to travel. He went to Saudi Arabia, and when they, I guess to spend Ramadans, but he said, she was like, she just mentioned like how the Saudi Arabians gave them many gifts. So, like the Bible says, they're giving gifts to one another because Israel has fallen. They're in the midst of their salvation. They're very happy. They're rich. This like the scripture says, because ye have grown fat as a heifer at grass and bellow as bulls. They are in their, the times of their lives. Right? 12, your mother shall be sore confounded. She shall bear, you shall be ashamed. Behold, the hindermost of the nations shall be a wilderness, a dry land, a desert. Because of the wrath of Ahijah, it shall be uninhabited, but it shall be wholly desolate. Everyone that goeth by Babylon shall be astonished and hiss at all her plagues. Yes, because, now once it's desolate, it still will be a landmass. So people will either fly over it by plane or by boat, just passing through, and that land will be uninhabitable. And this is going to be the scripture of it. Just like the same prophecy of how when Jerusalem was going to be destroyed. The same thing. America will be desolate and people will be hissing at it, because you know how flaky these people are. They love Babylon while it's great. But when it's get hit by, desolation, because the Most High, will destroy it, then they'll be hissing at it and talking about and how wicked it was. They knew it was wicked the whole time, and they was still grasping at straws trying to get there. You gotta see these people want to go to Babylon. All of them, everybody. They think I'm crazy for being here. Wow, why would you want to leave America and come here? They have no idea, and nor do they care. 15 and 14. Put yourselves in array against Babylon round about. All ye that bend the bow, shoot at her, spare no arrows, for she has sinned against Ahiah. So this gives you an idea of how Ahiah sees Babylon as straight wickedness, brothers and sisters. And for you who are supposed to be holy and righteous, you shouldn't even feel comfortable in that place. The Most High is not there. He's going to destroy it, and he's calling his people out. So in these scriptures, you got to, check out the underlying message that the Most High he hates that place. He's going to destroy it for what the place has done to his people, his heritage. So Israel's sitting in Babylon trying to act like they don't have a clue. They don't know. And they know they're going to these scriptures and they reading these scriptures, but they still choose to sit in Babylon. You understand? They still choose to sit in Babylon. It's horrible, but it just shows the fakeness and the phoniness of our people. Our people, really. And, I don't mean to offend you, but I'm sure some people will get offended when you say it. That, people are being fake and they're being phony by sitting here and trying to act like they don't know what's going on. You see what's going on. You know what's going on. And you just don't have the faith to get up. You really don't believe. It has to come down to that. Because there's no way in the world that you read these scriptures, you see it's right in front of your face what's going on. I mean, I'm talking about with the satanic award shows, that they actually walking around like demons right in front of you. And you still sit in Babylon and try to act like you don't see. How? How, y'all? Okay, so let me continue. 15 and 15. Shout against her round about. She hath given her hand. Her foundations are falling. That is what we are seeing. And when I go into these videos, that's all it's talking about. How America is falling. It's falling, and it's falling right in our face. And maybe 2 years ago, it wasn't so obvious, but it was obvious to me. Because I told you, in 2008, I left after the first stock market crash. I didn't need to see much more. The Most High was already stirring my spirit like, get out, get out. Now, I tell you, and I say this all the time, what was I going through in that time, brothers and sisters? I wasn't watching TV. I wasn't, I told you I had been celibate for years, so I wasn't dealing with any kind of fornication or any kind of sin in that way. So it's like my spirit was kind of clean. I wasn't, operating, like when the Most High poured out his spirit, it like hit me like a ton of bricks. So I was just like, boom, and I knew I had to get up out of there. And the Most High wouldn't even allow me to sit there for much. After a couple of months of waking up, I would have to go. So I think that had a part to do with it. I'm not saying, other people not, cleansing and doing these things. But I'm telling you, it hit me like a ton of bricks. But I had to reflect on like what was I going through in my life, and I was, I was fasting. I had learned to fast, and I had mentioned it recently. I had did the Ramadan fast. Now I wasn't a Muslim, but I had heard about fasting. I was like, well, let me try that. It was all around the same time. I had been fasting. I wasn't watching TV. I had pulled my TV out of the socket because they were putting on these atrocious TV programs like Queer as Folk. They always have some gay person. Like I can't even imagine now what kind of stories are on the TV, because I haven't seen TV in years. And only time if I somebody's house or whatever, or if I'm in a hotel room, I may put on the news. I'll let the news play. But I haven't watched programs in so long, y'all. But I can only imagine the type of programming that is going on now, because that was in 2008. I had to take my TV out the plug because everything was half gay and all these sexual scenes, and so I just couldn't take it. So I can't imagine. But anyway, let me not go too far off. So I'm just saying, this was I was going through when I woke up. So I can only imagine. So that's why I be saying stuff like people got to be spiritually dead. You got to be a walking corpse, and which we know we are the valley of the dry bones, walking around in Babylon. But to the point where you can't even be awakened by the Most High, like his spirit ain't even piercing through. And that's the case for the majority of people. All these YouTubers, these content creators, ain't nobody waking up. Spiritually dead, y'all. Okay, 15. Shout against her round about. She has given her hand. Her foundations are fallen. Her walls are thrown down, talking about Babylon. For it is the vengeance of a higher, taking vengeance upon her, as she has done do unto her. So all this stuff that's happening is the Most High bringing it down. And he's calling the children of Israel out, that you do not partake in this. And it's not spiritually, brothers and sisters. It's physically. Okay? 16, cut off the sower from Babylon, and him that handles the sickle in the time of harvest, for the fear of the oppression, sword. They shall turn everyone to his people, and they shall flee everyone to his own land. So that still is happening, but still people are traveling back and forth. I noticed that a lot of these people, even here in Jordan, they make sure they keep their foot in their land. They come back, they're going back and forth. They still trying to see, but they see that America is falling. They see that stuff is happening. They know that things are not the same, but they haven't been a mass exodus. But a lot of people are getting up and getting out because they understand. 17, Israel is a scattered sheep. The lions have driven him away. First, the king of Assyria has devoured him, and last, this Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, has broken his bone. So because we have went through so many captivities, Israel is exhausted, and rightfully so. I mean, we've been through a lot, and that's why, when I meet the children of Israel and they be coming out of Babylon, like people just be tired. They broke down, and they tired. And there's no oomph in our people. Nobody wants to do anything. They just ready to go into the wilderness and live life. And I understand why, rightfully so. But come on, guys. Come on. The kingdom is within us. We can't just go into the wilderness and sit there and wait for Christ. You got to be building and working. And not only just building and working so that you can sustain yourself in the wilderness. Because the Most High, he's going to kick in eventually, but it ain't going to happen right away. Just like in the days of Moses. Right? They were murmuring. They went through quite a few tests in that wilderness before the Most High kicked in. So it's going to happen again, brothers and sisters. So people ready to go be running to the wilderness, running with nothing, not even a tent, and thinking it's all good down there until they get a rude awakening, because you should prepare. You running down there with nothing, and You ain't gonna last for so long. 18. Therefore, thus saith a higher of hosts, the power of Israel, behold, I will punish the king of Babylon and his land as I have punished the king of Assyria. So it's coming, brothers and sisters. And unfortunately, you're right in the midst of it, and it behooves you to get up and get out of Dodge. Okay. 19. And I will bring Israel again to his habitations, and he shall feed on Camel and Bashan. And guys, those areas are Jordan. If you need to, if you have to study the landmass of this, but this particular scripture is talking about Jordan, Camel and Bashan, and he said he shall feed on Camel and Bashan. That's code for Jordan. For those who don't know, he said, and his soul shall be satisfied upon the mount of Ephraim and Gilead. And that also is very close, because Ephraim, there's a place in Israel that was called like Ephraim, okay? But it's also our territory of Judah on the other side, meaning in Jordan. So eventually we will get into Israel. But when that first part, it says he shall feed on Carmel and Bashan, that is in Jordan. So that's a sign too, that's letting us know that we will be in Jordan. Where we'll be. The scriptures tell us all the time. And I try to tell people all the time, Jordan is a safe place. Jordan is a safe place. Get within the borders. Get within the borders. Because it's not Israel, but it's still within the Most High's borders. And he said he will protect those within his borders. And that's in 2nd Ezra. And I always bring out those scriptures. And 2nd Ezra, I think it's 9 and 13. Okay, moving on. 20. In those days and in that time, a higher our power, the iniquity of Israel shall be sought for, and there shall be none, and the sins of Judah, and they shall be not found. For I will pardon them who I reserve. Now that's key. I'm going to highlight that. Whom I reserve. So it ain't all Israel. And there's a lot of Israelites and Hebrews walking around Israel talking about, they see Babylon falling and they think they're going to get delivered out of Babylon. And it's not going to happen that way. Ahia said, you must come out of her, my people. If you're in Babylon, you must come out. He said, for I will pardon them who I reserve. There are, a set that he has set apart that will make it. But everybody is not going to make it. And all Israel is not going to make it. And even the ones who come out, a lot of our people will get destroyed up in this wilderness because of, they just refuse. They refuse to conform to what Ahia is doing. Praise Ahia by Hashem Yeshaya. Shalom, Shanahor. Bless you guys. So I just wanted to really bring these things out. I don't want to go too long because I don't have a lot of time. So I'll read some more next week, but this is enough to get you understanding, brothers and sisters. It's not a game. And I know a lot of people will go into these scriptures, but they are always kind of sugar-coated, like it's still okay to be sitting in Babylon. It's not okay, brothers and sisters. You need to come out. Get out of Babylon. It's not a game. You see what's going on, right? You see it. Okay, so I'll leave that there for now because I want to show you these videos to show you how Babylon is falling. It's falling. And it's falling right in our face. Okay? So hold on. Let me change my screen. And, hold on. Let's start with, there's so many that I wanted to do. Okay, let me just start with ones that I normally go to. And you can hear these. Okay. Here we go.
There are so many stores, shelves that are going empty. And as you can see, my own storage shelves are going empty. So it's time to get stocked up. It's time to prepare. Price increases are continuing to go up. Gas prices as well continuing to go up. Start today. Stock up your household. Get the items that you need, whether it's canned goods, canned meat, vegetables, toilet paper. You see I'm low over here, and paper towels completely out of. So I have to get on the ball. So I'm encouraging you to do the same. So I went in 2 stores to see if I could find fully stocked shelves or if I'm going to find empty shelves. And what I did find was in this Dollar Tree, they do have an abundance of seeds in here. So 4 for $1 is a great buy if you're interested in getting seeds. The dollar store seeds, they do produce. I have used them before. Now, when I got over to the frozen food section and some of the canned goods on the shelves, you'll start to see empty shelves. And then in the next store, you'll see the Walmart didn't have a lot of emptiness in there, but the price increases are continuing to go up on the food that we use on a daily basis. So you guys, please get stocked up. Encourage your family members to stock up as well. When that emergency happens, and we never know when that is, hence it is called an emergency for a reason. Get your medications. As you can see right here, they're running low even on toothpaste and medication. Now the Walmart, they had medication, but the price increase again is going up. So you're going to pay a little bit more, but it's better to have something than to have nothing at all. I hope this video was helpful to you. Please give it a thumbs up, share it out. That is the best way to help this channel get out to more people, get this information out to more people. So I'll see you guys in the next video. So I'm in Walmart right now. They have these boxes of the king crabs for $45.97. They was $54, but y'all, before all this happened, you could get these for about $25. They were stocked on their chicken, turkey, pork, and only some gaps with the beef. But the prices is a lot. They had a bunch of noodles in here. They used to be $2.68. Now they're $3.68. But you guys, while you see the stores, some of them in certain areas have fully stocked shelves or semi-stocked shelves. Go ahead and stock up your home now. It is expected that these prices are going to continue to go up, and the shelves are going to start looking a little bare in certain areas. Eggs are $11.02 for 60. That's less than what it was, y'all, even though it's still more than it was. They were 3 years ago $5. Then they went up to $8. Then they've gone up in this particular store to $25. Now they're back down to $11.02. And then you have 18 count, well, 2 of the 18 counts were $6.67 and $2.84 for a dozen of the jumbo eggs.
Okay, so that she was just giving information on the prices of food and how things are going up. Okay, and that's good to know. I don't know how it is in your town, where you live, but it's important. Even me here, I know eventually it's going to hit us too. So that's why I'm trying to, buy as much as I can. It's hard, to get everything at once. So you got to do things little at a time. Like also, I be urging everybody to buy gold. Brothers and sisters, please, do your due diligence. Get out of Babylon and then buy some gold. I mean, you can buy it while you're in Babylon, and you probably have to buy like necklaces or, watches, things that, that you can wear, because it's hard to get on these planes and traveling with a whole, like a bag of gold. So you're gonna have to probably buy you some, nice expensive earrings, jewelry, put it on and put it on your person and wear it so that you can keep up with it. But definitely start buying you some gold. The gold is the most highest currency, and I wanted to go into scriptures on that as well. And if I don't get to it today, I'll definitely get to it next week. But gold is a highest currency. And I had spoke briefly on when Nixon in the 70s, he took America off the gold standard. And that was very pivotal, in the process, in the falling of Babylon. Because once they did that, then they was just been propping up you know, the economy with fake money. The dollar is not worth anything. And they moved the gold as backing the dollar. So it's been for a long time. That's in the 70s. Nixon did that. So ever since then, it's been downhill from there. But they've been always propping it. So people, you never really knew the wiser. But now you can see the cracks. In 2008, that was significant. And now that you see these banks are falling, that's a sign, and it's significant. And we're at the end of it, So it's only going downhill from here, So a lot of people have wishful thinking, and it's falling. So it is a process. And that's what the scriptures explain to us when it says it's falling. It's showing that it's in a steady decline. And that's what we have been seeing, brothers and sisters. Okay, so let me go on further because I don't know how much time. Here, let me give you this, another one. I thought this was an interesting video. Is it them? No, not them. I don't want to do that yet. There's a sister who, she did a very interesting video on explaining about the BRICS situation and all these nations coming together. And let me see if I have it on here. Oh, here it goes. This one. Is that it? Let's see. I don't know. Hold on.
Before you hear this. Hi, I'm Jeff Clark. And today, I want to show you some.
If you spend any time in these YouTube streets, you have heard about BRICS. And maybe if the algorithm hasn't caught up to you, I'm hoping that this puts you in the algorithm of learning more about BRICS. But in this video, I want to tell you the 5 most important things that you should know about BRICS before you do your own research. Okay, so BRICS is an economic alliance that has been formed. It was formed, has been, the original BRICS since 2010. And it is comprised of Brazil, the countries of Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. Okay, it is an economic alliance that is growing into one of the world's most superpowers today. Okay, so
hi there, I'm Alexis with Smart Prop Trader.
Hold on,
If you clicked
guys.
on this video, you are probably
They got
wanting
all
to
these
learn
commercials
more
now.
about who we are, what we do, and what we offer here.
we're going to talk about it, and I'm going to tell you the 5 most important things you should know about this economic alliance so that you can learn more, right? That you can get in your economic bag and start to understand and learn the dynamics of what this powerhouse is and how it may or may not affect you, but closer to the may, because it's going to affect you. It's going to affect everyone in the world because there's a huge shift happening. But first, let me introduce myself. If you're new to this channel, welcome. My name is Ashley. On this channel, Ashley in Africa, I talk about my experience moving, living, and doing business here on the continent of Africa. I live in Dar es Salaam, Tanzania with my 2 young girls, and I share my journey of motherhood, of love, and entrepreneurship after living in Dar es Salaam, Tanzania for 2 years and preparing to relocate to Johannesburg South Africa. So you can hear the sweet birds in the background and then the not so sweet crows in the background. It's Friday. So you may hear some children laughing, playing, as well as some of the noises of what it means to take care of a household. As my dada, my house helper, is kind of making sure that the house is tidy. But in this video, we're going to get into 5 things that you need to know about BRICS, the economic alliance that is growing. It is growing. So as I mentioned, Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa are the BRICS alliance. And while they have been called an economic alliance, the advantage that they hold together is massive. It's huge. So the first thing is that 41.5% of the world's population is in this economic alliance of BRICS, right? And about $26.2 trillion spending dollars value is that alliance, right? About 26.2% of the amount of financial wealth exists, 26.2 of that in this current BRICS alliance. Number 2, these economies are producer economies. So Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa, they produce, whether it's energy, food, technology, consumer goods, they are producer economies versus some of these Western economies that are not included in BRICS. They are producer economies, not consumer economies. All right, number 3, they have historical alliances. Now, I don't want to get too deep into this because I am not a historian. I'm not a history buff, although I am learning a lot and I don't want to misquote. But there are historical alliances between all of these countries. Do your research. But I learned about this specifically during my last trip to South Africa about the historical alliance between Russia and South Africa and how the US has put a lot of pressure on South Africa to denounce Russia and their relationship. And they haven't done it and they won't do it. And the reasons why are historic, are the alliance that Russia has had in the training of the military of South Africa, in the preservation of their, said sovereignty in South Africa. And so again, I don't want to get too deep into it, do your own research, but this is not only a current economic alliance or said that something that has only existed from 2010. There are decades, century-old historical alliances that have been in place, military alliances that have been in place with these countries for years, for centuries. And so, since the Soviet war, trade, India sent hundreds of thousands of Indians to South Africa as indentured servants, back in the 70s and 60s. And so these are long-standing relationships that have since the development of these countries has happened. They're forging their economic powers together, and they're essentially getting to the global economic bag. But I digress. Number 4. So there is a financial system that will challenge the global reserve currency, which is the dollar. And the SWIFT system, which is currently the only way to make international transfers, which is connected to the Federal Reserve in the US, is currently the main system. And there are new systems being created. These include the New Development Bank, the BRICS payment system, and also crypto. So South Africa is one of the fastest adopting countries of cryptocurrency, and has been for the last decade. And so these financial systems, these traditional financial systems of the global reserve dollar, as the US dollar being the global reserve currency and the SWIFT system being the only way to make international transactions. Yeah, it's changing, and BRICS is the reason for that. So do your own research and understand how this economic shift is a part of the reason why we see inflation happening. We see different access to energy decreasing, access to fuel. These changes, are happening. And the last thing you need to know is that this economic alliance is growing. So the countries that I listed in the beginning that formed the original BRICS, Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa, is now becoming BRICS Plus, because you have many other countries that are interested in becoming associated and becoming a part of this new global powerhouse, right? So some of these countries include Nigeria, Egypt, which are the other most richest countries on the continent, right? So pay attention. Nigeria and Egypt have expressed interest in the economic alliance of the BRICS community, the BRICS system.
Okay, so I'm going to stop it there, and I'm going to put her link into the description box so for those who want to watch the rest, because it's almost finished, but I just want to keep going because I just really wanted to talk about how this the economic system is about to change. And Babylon the Great is not going to take that lightly, that the BRICS situation is gaining steam, because in order for them to take down the children of Israel, they need to have full control of this whole economic system worldwide so that they can take us down. So they're not about to let this happen in this manner. They want to start the mark of the beast and all this stuff. And so, that's an issue. So this is what they will come up with, a war and all these other things to cause distraction until they get their plan into place. So I just wanted to, and also I wanted to know, like, this sister here, she looks like she possibly Israel, left America. And the first thing we do is always we want to run to Africa, because that's what we did in 70 AD. We ran into Africa. So that's the natural instinct for Israel. But we are supposed to run within the Most High's borders. And because a lot of people are not spiritually grounded, they're not connected, and they're not looking up and praying and asking the Most High for direction, they will end up going to the wrong place. And, so she's, she said she's going to move again. And before you know, they probably will end up coming to Jordan. But how they will get to Jordan depends on, what they go through. Like I said, and I've said in many videos, people will end up coming across that Red Sea dry shot. They're going to have to walk from Egypt, from Africa, all across that, from Tanzania, asking the way to Zion. This is what's got to happen to a lot of people, because they're not checking for the Most High. They're not looking. They all into this Nubianism and all this other Africanism and, Nuwabics and, Egyptology or whatever. They can't even connect to the Most High to, get in the right direction. Now, some have, some people wake up and they'll start looking and asking and, for the borders, like our sister told us last week. She started looking for the borders and praise the higher. But sometimes people end up going through all the way around the mulberry bush before they even get a clue that they should come this way, instead of going all the way the opposite way into Africa, So it is what it is, unfortunately, maybe we could send our sister a message and let her know that, she got to wake up and start checking for the Most High, But a lot of these people, they don't even be into into the Bible. So it's like a hard whole thing. But anyway, so let me just go. So I put the link if you want to finish watching it, because she's given a lot of information on introduction to what is BRICS. If you don't know what's going on worldwide, and brothers and sisters, this is what we have to do. We got to pay attention to what's going on in the world, because a lot of people are giving out information. There's a lot of information, and you got to be careful about misinformation. And that's why I try to bring this to the forefront, the news, what's going on worldwide, so that you can see, everybody's talking about this, and like I said in my other videos, like the Hebrew Israelites are not even really addressing it too much, they'll, brush around it, but act like it's okay to be sitting there. No, it's not okay. You need to be getting out of there, Okay, so I'm going to go to the next one. Hold on. Okay, now I found this guy who gave a lot of information. So I got 2 videos on him, and I'm not going to play them all the way through, but I will give you parts. So here is, because there's a lot going on, brothers and sisters. Okay, first, this is just banking information. So about buying gold, guys.
You've ever seen in your life. If you have coffee, enjoy. If you don't have coffee, run and go get some.
I don't have coffee.
Here we go, guys. We've got a lot of news. We've got, literally breaking financial news, and it's not looking so great. But real quick, I need to give a little tip to anyone that has just started watching this channel. I have been warning people for the last 2.5 years for what is happening right now, and that is the economy is imploding. If you don't realize that, you need to stick around, because I'm going to show you how it's imploding in real time. And then over the course of many videos, I talk about different ways to prepare yourselves. Things are getting nutty, and they are going to crap in a handbasket. They're going to happen almost overnight, it will seem like, by this fall. Now, with that being said, let's go over CNBC, just the stats, just the headlines, because there's more layoffs happening. I'm going to do some other videos later today going in depth about that. But today we're going to be doing banking news, stock market news, things like that. So right now, as the recording of this video, gold is still above $2,000. Boy, when I dealt with my last Great Recession, the collapse, gold was nowhere near that. I think we were like $500, $600 back then. And to think now, before this next wave of massive stimulus, massive money printing that's about to happen to bail out the big banks that are to be going under in the fall and the next winter, to think that gold is sitting at 2,000. Last time it was at $600, $500-600, and it took off and hit 2,000 at its peak during the Great Recession. I can't even imagine. And put down what you think gold will peak at in this next cycle, in this next bull run, which should last between 3 to 5 years. When the Fed just opens up the windows and the government starts bailing out corporations, think about where the price of gold's going. It's going to be amazing. So put it down in the comment section. But right now, we're sitting at over $2,000 for an ounce of gold. Silver still over $25. Now, oil sitting at $79, just down nominally. The bond market, the 10-year bond is up, sitting at 3.6%. We're going to talk about real estate sales, I believe, in today's broadcast. And then it says right here, Treasury yields rise on global inflation concerns after another hot reading in the UK. We are going to read about that today as well. And the UK is so very vital right now to the health of the American economy. People need to understand how vital it is, because the Bank of England and the Federal Reserve are so closely tied together. There's swap lines to try and hide a lot of the things they do behind the scenes. And it's just literally vital. As the UK falls, as the euro falls later this year, you are going to see America's economy fall as well. My darn phone keeps turning off. All right, just a couple quick headlines here. Meta has started its round of layoffs focusing on technical employees. So I guess you don't need to be that technical to have a metaverse. It's interesting how all of these companies are announcing these massive waves of layoffs. What, David's Bridal, second bankruptcy in 5 years, and they're about to lay off 9,000 employees. Right here, mortgage demand for home buyers drops 10% as interest rates jump. Well, no duh, nobody can afford it. That's why California put out that, I did that video about a week ago about California giving 20% of your down payment, literally almost no strings attached. They get 20% of the profit when you go to sell the house, but it was 0% interest loan, deferred payments, just get in. They ran out of that money in a week and a half, $300 million. You see the government now, the federal government has stepped in to say, hey, if you got bad credit, we're actually going to give you a bonus. We're going to actually charge you less fees than someone with a 680 or higher credit score. And if they're putting down a bigger down payment, they're going to get penalized for that too. You are seeing a fundamental shift in the market, and it's still going to lead, it could lead to a little bit higher prices or prices strengthening right in the short term, but it's because the dumb money is moving in. You can't make this stuff up. All right, without further ado, let's get the teleprompter out. If you've never seen the channel, go ahead and put your thoughts about this in there. All right, here we go. Super professional, because the Ninja is all about professionalism, all right? You know, you got Yahoo Finance, you got CNBC out there. They don't hold a candle to the economic ninja. Hey, do me a favor, hashtag Yahoo Finance in here, because then, or hashtag CNBC, so anyone looking for that kind of stuff may be brought to the real news. All right, here we go. This market's getting hot, hotter by the day. All right, so this is out of Zero Hedge, and it's entitled Future Slide After Hawkish Bullish Comments, or sorry, Bullard comments. There's no bullish comments. It's Bullard. He's from the Fed. So take what he says with a grain of salt. And red hot UK inflation. It says here, the equity futures fell following hawkish comments from the FOMC, non-voter Jim Bullard, and another double-digit CPI print out of the UK. China was weak, with property names dropping 2%, led by Hong Kong developers, which dropped after city leader John Lee dismissed calls by the industry to scrap property cooling measures. Sentiment was also dented by news that Tesla cut prices again. Isn't that incredible? And you know what? People sit there and they're going, oh, but Elon Musk is a genius because he's getting ahead. You know, he's trying to take market share. Well, that's true. But really the big deal is they can't sell the cars at the current price. The market is tanking. I did a video the other day at an auto dealership. There was nobody there. They don't like me making videos at the dealerships, just so you guys know. If you guys own a dealership in California and you want to actually talk about the reality of the car market, let me know. ninjabrohawk@gmail.com. Don't send me emails about asking for financial information. I can't say anything. All right. Netflix tumbled as much as 12% on Tuesday before recouping almost all of its losses after a miss on subscribers, but after boosting cash flow. Now think about this.
Okay, guys, so that's another one. And he's just really giving a lot of information on these companies and, you know, what's going on that you may not really be hearing about, but he's putting it out there. So I'm going to put his link if you want to watch the rest of it, because he got a lot of information. But my next video is him as well. He's talking about another bank that has, it's a big bank, but it's not like Chase or Citibank, but it's Charles Schwab, I think, that's having financial trouble now. And this is a big financial institute. Okay, so let me put this link in that y'all can check this out. Check him out later if you want. But I'm going to go to the next one because I don't have a lot of time. I don't know how much longer. They're going to let me stay up in here. Okay, hold on. Let's see. It's the same guy, but he's just giving information on another bank bailout. Oh, that's falling. So I wanted to listen to this and understand it's still happening. Just because you haven't heard anything in the last couple of days about it, these banks are still, you know,
I think that is really the most important. So here we go. Deposit insurance is key to confidence trick of banking, to the confidence trick of banking. And that is exactly what it is. It is a trick, right? They want to add confidence. They want to give you confidence. Now, Jamie Dimon was on record saying that the banking sector is losing confidence and is going to take years to get that back. Once you lose confidence in something, there's nothing like the breaking of trust. And let me share with you a quick story from a very, very wealthy man, a multi-billionaire, that shared a story of a lesson that he learned when he was a child from his father. He said his father called him into the house and said he needs to show him something. And he took an egg, and he showed him this egg. And he says, son, I want you to do me a favor. I want you to imagine that this is trust. What do you think about that? And the child didn't know what to say. and he took the egg and he dropped it ever so gently, and it cracked and it started to leak out the egg. And he says, I want you to fix that. And he said, Dad, I can't fix that. It's broken. Once it's broke, it's done. You can't fix an egg. And he said, that's why you're supposed to look at this as trust. See, once you break trust, you've lost it forever. It would take so much sorcery, trickery, shenanigans to try and get somebody's trust back, and that would be a facade, right? Well, that's what's happening in the banking sector right now. It says deposit insurance is key to the confidence trick of banking. Here we go. This is out of the Financial Times. You might think that bank regulators would be feeling a bit jittery these days. In short order, 3 U.S. lenders and globally systemic Credit Suisse became victims of a not so mini banking crisis that all too closely resembled the chaotic collapse of 2007, 2008. Now, let me back up. Let's go back to 2007, 2008. What the author is failing to, or probably doesn't remember, was that we actually had a banking crisis in 2005, 2006. And back then, our head of the Federal Reserve was Ben Bernanke, a quote unquote expert in the Great Depression. He actually gets paid, millions of dollars to go around the country and speak on the Great Depression. And what he fails to tell you in all of those speeches is that he was the reason why 2007, 2008 happened. Why? Because the crisis was actually in 2005, 2006. And he was going on CNBC and telling everybody everything's okay. There's no big deal in this mortgage-backed security crisis. We've provided some liquidity. We've saved the banks. He didn't. He was 100% wrong, and he gets rewarded for being wrong. That's the society that we live in today. You get rewarded for being wrong. Have you ever heard of the term in your job? I'm going to say it nicely. Mess up, move up. Let's put it that way. When your supervisors are all around and all they do is they don't build a legacy of leadership, they have a legacy of screw ups. And it's almost like the supervisor above is like, we got to make this guy management. He's perfect management material, or she's perfect management material, because we're all alike. That's what I think about middle management. But what's happening right now in the banking sector is akin to that. All right. We are literally in that first wave of this collapse. And the second wave is going to happen in earnest. It will be in earnest, moving downward in the fall of this year. What you just experienced and what you just witnessed in the news, and I'm going to stick with this banking sector news, hammering it to show people what is really happening behind the scenes, because if you don't know it inside and internalize it, you won't do anything to prepare for it. So if you want news like that, please hit the thumbs up, please hit the subscribe button, and make sure, because YouTube just took a bunch of people's bell notifications and clicked it off. And so if you don't mind checking that, if you had it on, that'd be great. So it says here, instead, there is a quiet sense of satisfaction. The failures were contained, at least for now. New regulatory mechanisms were deployed swiftly, and perhaps most importantly, a push for deregulation among politicians on both sides of the Atlantic has been staunched. So Clinton, in his term, deregulated the banks and created the monopolies, essentially the out of control money printing and schemes of the banks, and really started that entire thing, essentially taking savings institutions and turning them into investment houses, which also took the availability of FDIC insurance away from most accounts. Most people don't realize that, and that's what's going on right now. New regulatory mechanisms were deployed swiftly because of this crash, and politicians are moving to deregulate banks. That's the worst idea that could ever happen, right? Mm-hmm. The government is not in charge of printing money. Please understand that. The Federal Reserve is a private bank. It is a private company. Thomas Jefferson did a lot to try and get them kicked out. He was successful at one point, but I'm telling you, there's a reason why Trump has had a bust of him in the White House. John F. Kennedy tried to get rid of the Federal Reserve, and you can see what happened with him. President Reagan also started. If you understand what I'm saying and you agree with it, please hit the thumbs up button, because we have to get the truth out to the masses. All right. There's a small subsection of human beings that I would say aren't men or women. Okay. They are not men or women of high moral standards.
Okay, guys. So basically, I'm gonna put his link as this one, and you can go because it's pretty long. But he's basically just talking about this financial institution that's in trouble, another one, and it's 2 billion. It's in the billions, this financial, and it's about to fall as well. So it hasn't stopped. And he's saying things, look for the fall for a lot of these, situations to start happening again. But it's happening, but they're trying to prop it up so that people won't start getting nervous. People won't start jumping ship and bailing out of Babylon, especially the children of Israel. These should be signs to us. These should, and I have to say, brothers and sisters, that I speak to a lot of brothers and sisters that's waking up. And I'm happy to say that even though, a lot of people are talking about leaving, they do know that they have to leave. Hold on. Let me get this out. They do know they have to leave, and a lot of them, praise the higher, have gotten their 5 years visa. A lot of them are getting the 5-year visas to get, be able to come to Jordan. So praise the higher for that. I've talked to several people, and then to my surprise, they have told me that. So people are listening, and I praise the higher for you brothers and sisters that are paying attention, that are making moves, that's getting out of harm's way and preparing for what is coming, because this is all about us, and this is all, the distractions are all to keep us still, to keep us sitting in Babylon. So you must get out. You must prepare to leave. Get some gold. Buy silver if you have to as well. If you don't have enough money to buy gold, silver is much cheaper. At least you'll have something to barter with when the time comes and you can make a move, So I'm going to keep going because no one came in yet, but they hear them moving around. So let's see. Hold on. I wanted to go into... Oh, I didn't. In other news, okay, so there was be careful about this one because this is going on. And
بعملك أنشئ موقع ويب أو بيع عبر الإنترنت.
But this is important because a lot of people thinking that they're going to be running down to the last minute, when things
What's
start
up,
to
family?
fall. And that's why
The U.S. Travel Advisory has warned its citizens, do not travel to Mexico. It is unsafe. But guess what, fam? It's not going to stop anybody from traveling to Mexico because all those people who has decided to ignore those warnings have collectively decided that it's not going to happen to them. Everybody that I talk to who are huge fans of Mexico, traveling to Mexico, they all say, oh man, Mexico is one of the safest places you have to go to. You just got to go to the right place. And, I've been there dozens of times, never had a problem. When I lived in Azerbaijan, I lived in what most people would consider the safest neighborhood in Azerbaijan. We had guards at the front gate of the entry to the neighborhood. The entire neighborhood was gated with 9-foot brick walls. Inside there was a school. The school was gated with guards in the back with machine guns and guards in the front with machine guns at the front entry of the school. So we got guards at the front entry of the neighborhood with machine guns, 2 guards, and then 1 guard in the back of the school with a machine gun and 2 guards in the front of the school with a machine gun. I still told my kids, be careful when you're walking in the neighborhood, because sometimes when you're in these gated communities, and people see police waving and stuff like that, they tend to get relaxed. People think that it ain't gonna happen to them. It's never happened here before. It'll never happen. And then next thing you know, it happens, and it happens to them. So I'm gonna tell you straight up, fam, I've never had a desire to go to Mexico. Let me back up. I never had a desire until my friend was talking it up. Like, oh man, we had a good time, and you know, it only cost this much money to do it. I'm like, hey, y'all did all of that for just that amount of money? Yeah. So that's really the lure. That's really the allure. Is it's the whole thing about, you know, how you can have a good time, you know, for just a little. Well, I ain't gonna say no, but for just a little. You know, you can have a good time. You can have a great time. You don't have to spend a whole lot of money. You got to spend some money, but not a whole lot of money. So I was like, okay. And just as I was considering it, the killing started again. They just started killing people. And I'm like, man, I ain't going no damn Mexico. I got enough issues right here in America, man. I already got to walk with my head on a swivel in the country that I'm from. I'm not trying to go on vacation and walk with my head on a swivel. I'm not trying to be all in Mexico, just, you know, looking around and everything, just suspicious of everything. I'm not doing that, man. You know, when you go on vacation, the whole idea of a vacation is to relax, you know, escape reality, you know, have some fun, let your hair down, you know, let your hair down. According to the police, in the Cortazar municipality in Guanajuato, 7 people, including a football player and a small child, was gunned down at a resort. 7 innocent people were gunned down at a resort in Mexico. 3 men, 3 women, and a child. They found the body of a woman who had been missing since April 6th, 20-year-old woman, who, according to police, her friends gave various statements. They gave conflicting statements about her disappearance. One said she had went back to another city to visit her family, and others said that they dropped her off on a dark road. These are her friends. They just dropped her off on a dark road all by herself. And then you got 3 women from Texas who are missing. 3 other women from Texas who are missing. This woman was from Mission, Texas. So there's 3 other women who are sisters who are missing from Texas, who visited Mexico. Hadn't been seen since February 25th. Family. And then you can't forget the 4 people who went to Mexico, the 3 guys with the girl who was there to get her BBL, and they killed 2 of the guys, thinking these guys were rival gang members. At least that's the story that they gave. It looks to me like these are just targeted murders. Somebody's trying to start a war because they're just indiscriminately killing American tourists. I don't understand why people still want to go there. I got enough problems right here. Like, and the U.S. is issuing a advisory, a traveling advisory, warning people to not go to Mexico. They need to be warning people to get the hell out of the U.S. because this is murder all day, every day. I mean, yeah, Mexico is dangerous, but you know, America is equally dangerous, but a lot more dangerous. But again, you know, I'm familiar with this danger. I know the terrain, I know the people, I know the players, I know how to move around in this danger. So I'm going to deal with the devil that I know. That's where I'm coming from with this. I'm not about to go.
Okay, guys. So this is the state, you know, unfortunately, this is how our brothers are thinking. You know, they just don't got a clue. A lot of these brothers, they ain't stirring in their spirit, but at least, you know, at least he said that, they should be wanting people to get up out of America, but nobody wants to leave America. You know, it's amazing. I don't understand it, but all right. So I'll put his link also into the description box. And I guess that's about it. I mean, I won't have much time to do much more, but I just give all glory and praise to Ahaya Ashur. I hope this is a little helpful to you guys, getting this information. I don't know if y'all, seen some of these videos or not, but I pray that it's enough to make you start, really moving forward and getting up out of there. Shalom, Edom to Edom. Saga, Shalom, sis. We got the 144 in the building. People are stopping through. And thank you guys for, commenting. And please hit the like button. Share the videos. Give our people, some information on coming out of Babylon, and Jordan is the safe place. Because, guys, I'm the only channel that's talking about within the borders and getting out and, trying to make it. So again, for those of you who came in a little later, I just give all glory and praise to Ahaya. I pray that you all have a blessed Shabbat that's coming up. And, I just say shalom. And I pray that you guys are getting out of Babylon. Get out of harm's way, brothers and sisters. Don't wait until the last minute. Buy gold and silver. Put some money away. Try to get you an airline ticket on reserve that you will have in case the things shut down. You can get on a plane and get up out of there. If you have to do it in that way, because Babylon, they don't care. It's just really getting hectic, and people are just waddling in the filth of Babylon. Oh, I'm just talking. My face is not even on the screen, is it? Sorry, guys. But yeah, it's just like, they try to just make it feel as normal as possible and make you feel like, everything is okay. It's not okay, brothers and sisters. It's horrible, So, I give all glory and praise to Ahaya Ashur. Bahashim Yeshaya. Wa Kodash Wa. Shalom, Israel. I gotta go, but I'll come back next week and I'll start. I'll read the rest of. I'll go into Jeremiah 51, and I will. We'll go more into Babylon the Great is falling, more news. And if there's anything that you guys want to talk about or discuss or whatever, send me an email. I told you, travel@yahoo.com. I'll put the link in the description box. Email me if there's things that you want to talk about. Praise Ahaya. So my email is itojatravel@yahoo.com. If you want information on getting out or anything like that, hit me up. Shalom. Bye, guys.